The Sandy and Toddcast is a Mind Garden Media podcast in association with
Screw You, Todd
Productions. Oh, hey, here we are.
Hey!
Oh, my goodness.
Tarot Tuesday, Todd. I am so excited.
I am excited, too. Happy Tarot
Hi,
Tuesday.
Vicky. Happy
Vicky.
Tarot Tuesday.
Special show in store for you tonight. Tammy, thanks for joining us tonight. She's a good friend of Victoria and mine, and
Awesome.
part of our soul tribe, if you will. And her
Hi,
husband,
Tammy.
Jason, as well.
Awesome.
Part of the soul
Thank
tribe.
you.
Glad you guys are tuning in tonight. Tarot Tuesday, which means that we're going to have a couple of things going on tonight. Number one, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some laughs like we always do.
Yep.
We're also going to talk with Victoria, MysticKarma by Victoria, and talk a little bit about her journey in life. We talk a lot about like kind of going through life and feeling different and not necessarily understanding why you feel different. Right.
Yeah.
And
Hi, Dawn.
and also like how like when you finally realize you're different, getting from feeling different to being okay with it and then living with it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's tough.
Especially, I always am a little bit, I'm always very happy for the younger people, the people who figure it out earlier in life, because it's so difficult going through life and thinking that you're depressed or crazy or, you know, any other number of things and not really realizing it. And I was telling Victoria before we became live tonight, how everybody's journey is just a little bit different. And everybody goes through different things in their lives, but we all in general can relate to each other on some level because we've all felt those feelings at some point, you know?
Absolutely. And I think the other thing we want to do tonight is we're going to promote her podcast. She does a Monday through Friday daily vibe podcast, which I swear by because I at some point during the day, I definitely have to listen in. If I can get it as soon as she's got it out there, it helps me kind of realize what kind of day I'm going to have.
Yeah.
And if I get to it later in the day, after all the nonsense has happened, I go, oh, well, that makes sense. Why
That's why. And you've sent them to me too, and I've watched them on my own, and she's just amazing. Just amazing. And I just want to say hi to my best friend, Karen. It was Karen's birthday yesterday. She's
Happy
all
birthday,
of
Karen.
29 and holding. Oh, she is. She's 29, just like I am.
I think we all know better than that.
Embrace the age. So yeah, Victoria's pretty amazing. So this is going to be a really fun night, and I can't wait to hear her journey and have her share some of that with us because like I said, this is actually a place for everybody to come together with no judgment, and everybody has the ability to tell their own stories. Absolutely.
Coming up on Saturday, season 2, episode 1 of the Sandy and Toddcast audio podcast.
Sunday.
Sunday. Did I say Saturday?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Sunday. So congratulations.
Yes.
Should be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great. You and I, what a journey we've had with this podcast. And it's going to be so much fun. Episode 2-1 drops on Sunday. And this is our part 1. We had to break it into 2 parts. Part 1 of our interview with Dennis Webster, who is an author, a published author, and also a very seasoned paranormal investigator. And he also lives in his very own haunted house. I know, you're jealous. He did tell you, listen, he did tell you if you come out here, you can stay there. How cool would that be to stay in a haunted house?
Is he going to be there, or can I just be there by myself?
Maybe he'll have a real girlfriend by then, because
instead of me, a fake one. Is that what you're saying?
Well, he was telling us about his ghost girlfriend. So on Sunday when we recorded it, and so maybe by then he'll leave you the whole house. That would be cool. It's a beautiful home.
So we got that coming up on Sunday. Thursday, Another Thirsty Thursday, right?
This will be amazing. Hi, Ed. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be, and Lisa said she loves us. We love you too, Lisa. We'll see you on Thursday night. Lisa will be joining us.
Yeah, she will, but you might love her. I, on the other hand, not a big fan.
I love you enough for both of us, Lisa. No, Lisa will be joining us. I just talked to non-bartender Bill, and he'll be mixing up a concoction or 6 for us on Thursday night. He says he's moving to his laptop so that he hopefully will be able to hear us this time.
And of course, we'll not only have a lot of fun, have a drink that we'll drink. Yep. I also got a great new drink glass for Thirsty Thursdays.
Ooh, I'm excited.
You want to see it?
Yes.
You want to see it now?
Yeah, but you're not going to show me.
No, I am. I've got it right here in my hand.
All right.
So I want you to think Exorcist.
Okay.
And I want you to think Reagan possessed.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
It's a tiki glass. Watch this.
Oh my God. I love that. I love it. That's amazing.
So on Thirsty Thursday, that's what I'm drinking out of, just so you know.
Well, guess what? I'm going to have to find... Well, I have my Haunted Mansion wine glass. I can drink... I don't have to drink wine out of it. I can do tequila. I can do vodka, whatever I want to do. So that's Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Be there or be square. And who wants to be square?
Well, nobody. Absolutely not.
That's right.
So one of the things that I wanted to just bring up before we bring Victoria on is a little rant about these ghost TV shows. Now, on Sunday's LIVECAST, I talked a little bit about the fact that the ghost shows are their own worst enemies because they're all against one another and nobody gets along. Nobody can, reach out to a fan and answer any questions, stuff like that.
Yep.
Well, that's great. But here's what's really on my mind this week. There's a show that you and I watch, and I'm not going to point any fingers out there. But every show is a little different. Some are more based on the scientific end of things. Some are more based on the let's have fun. Some are more based on the drama of, oh my God, we're going to die kind of stuff, right?
Right.
I am tired of them all doing the whole, I think there's a demonic entity here.
Yeah,
line.
I know.
I'm tired of that.
I know.
Because, I can't say that I've ever run into anything demonic. I've run into some things that probably weren't very nice, okay? But from everything that I've ever studied, if you have a demonic situation, you're going to know it's demonic. We're not talking about a couple of scratches. We're not talking about some growling going on. We're talking about stuff being thrown, broken, people being hurt. One of the big reports is the smell of rotting flesh constantly. I mean, I think you will know when you have a demonic, possession or a demonic situation going on.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because I know what you're talking about. And I agree because think about it. And I'm not talking about the movies. By the way, Jay, Michael Myers is my favorite horror movie villain monster. Michael Myers. Yeah, I like Michael Myers.
Okay.
Jay asked the question. So, but all of the stories you hear, I have actually been to lectures of known demonologists. I've talked to them. I've met them. The stories and the stuff they present is nothing like what they call demonic activity on these TV shows.
Right.
Totally different than what these guys are talking about. These guys are talking about getting thrown across a room. They're not talking about, just somebody walking in and saying, I got scratches, and so I think there's a demon in my house. That's not a demon, believe me.
Or things feel dark. I feel something watching me, right?
There is negative energy. There is hostile energy. There are things that are negative that can hurt you. They can physically touch you. They can hurt you. But
do you know what she did?
I knew it's coming.
Your blanking daughter.
Only I don't get the blanking. I get the full effect.
That's correct.
At least we're not on the phone.
I just want to get past every
yeah.
ghost situation out there is not a demon. And in many cases, you're talking about regular people whose energies are still there, whether it's residual or intelligent, and probably not just in that location, but they're just everyday energies that are hanging out. There's no reason to go all, do you know what she did?
Here's my problem, though. Because people who don't know the difference, we were talking the other day about this. These shows are 90% entertainment, 10% evidence.
I get that.
And true evidence,
I
right?
get it. Yep.
Right. But here's my problem with that. If you're not going to represent things in their true form, people who don't understand this stuff are going to get the wrong impression. They're going to learn the wrong way. And then they're going to assume that everything that happens is demonic or it's negative. You know, I was in an investigation where I felt some heavy negative energy. I didn't feel like it was demonic in any way. You know, but I'm just a little bit concerned that people are going to think that everything that happens to them is demonic.
Right.
You know,
It's not.
It's not.
Energies do not need to be treated poorly. Let's just put it that way.
Right. And
you can treat dead people or energies and spirits with respect.
Yes. And you don't necessarily need a medium or an empath in there with you to tell you that. You know, right. You have to use your common sense and your understanding. Demons are not going to just give you a scratch. That's not what demons do. You know, so I get your rant. I agree with you. Totally.
Well, I think we should bring her out here. I'm excited about this. I will say, we want to tell our listeners and viewers this. Prior to the broadcast, we always get together and have a little fun beforehand. And by fun, I just mean conversation and some laughs and giggles and stuff like that. We're not, getting drunk or high or anything.
Way to put the disclaimer in there. All right.
But Victoria was having some issues with her internet. And everything would be fine. And then when she would say something that was rather what I thought was important, she would freeze up.
Yeah.
And so I want people to understand that if she freezes up, we're just going to wait for her to come back.
Yep.
Because what she has to say, I think, is really important. We're going to talk to her a little bit about, her life and her journey. And then a little bit later on, she's going to pull some cards for us. But I'm going to introduce right now a very, very close friend of mine. I met her, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago already at a Taco John's. And
I didn't know that.
I did. And that is the intro I'm going to give her. Will you please welcome Victoria to the broadcast? Hi, Victoria.
Yay! Hi, Victoria.
Hello, lovies. How are we doing? I'm so excited.
We are so excited to have you. What?
Yeah.
Seriously, we met at a fast food restaurant, and it never stopped after that because I was doing a live broadcast, and she was a manager at the restaurant, and you were a radio natural.
Hi,
Tammy was there too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And we, you were just an absolute natural on there. So, I knew right away that we were going to be fast friends. I didn't know that we'd work in radio together and then down the line be doing a podcast with tarot cards. So,
right? Who would have thought?
And how long ago was this that you guys met?
God, 4 years ago?
It's got to be about 4. Yeah. Closer to 4.
Wow.
4 years ago. But yeah, I was working at the Taco John's out on 45 here, and Tammy actually came in first, and then wanted to get us on the radio.
Yep.
And I thought that was such a awesome idea because I really thought that would be something really good for us. And I had to go through hell to get it approved. But once they approved it, it was a hit. Tammy's like, I'm going to bring in the crew. Let's go in. And
And then she freezes
And
up
then
because
she
she's saying
freezes.
something important. But yeah, we went and we did some live broadcasts. We did
Was
some
very
commercials with her.
much calm down and let's just be natural.
Interesting.
Started. You bet.
I will just say this, and this will happen throughout the night, but she was a natural on the radio. And I think that she's the kind of person, and you've met these people, Brittany, in radio, where you can just put them on the air.
Brittany. He called me Brittany.
Same thing. When you put people on the radio, Brittany, Sandy,
yes.
And you just have a right away a chemistry with them. She's the kind of person that could sit in a studio with you and the chemistry would just be there.
That's awesome. Yay. I love that. I love that. How cool.
Me too.
But your life did not start at Taco John's, and that's where I kind of want to really back up and talk a little bit about your life journey, and kind of specifically talking about when you had that feeling that things were not quote unquote normal for you.
Well, that really started about 5 years ago when me, you, and Tammy got together. Otherwise, when I was younger, I was scared of the dark. I slept with a nightlight till I was like 13 because I could always see things in the dark. And, my dad was very much one of those energies of go back to bed. It's all in your head kind of thing, right?
Yep.
And so, we blocked that out. And so till I was about 13, I had a nightlight because I was scared of the dark. And then I've always been into the tarot, spiritual type of energies. And so I would always do that on my own. But it started when I met Todd and Tammy, because I was more free to be able to talk about my experiences.
Yeah.
And then I, a couple of years ago, found out that I had heart disease, which was a huge scare for me. It runs in my dad's side of the family, and most of them passed away at an early age. And so that really scared the shit right out of me, right?
Yep.
So, I started changing the way I ate. I started drinking water. I started to really allow myself this total life change. And it is true that when you stop taking medications, when you stop drinking and allowing your vibrations to really just kind of be low, right?
Yep.
My gifts started coming back, and I was really freaked out because I thought I was crazy. And I would talk to Todd because I knew he was in the paranormal. And we had a mutual friend, Bernie, and I would talk to Todd. It was like I just had this really different kind of energy with him. I just loved him so much. And I called him Mr. Blue Eyes, and all he wanted was a hug out of me every day. When I would walk into the studio, he was the most beautiful soul I had ever met. And he was a cranky old coot, right? But
yes, he was.
Wasn't he though? But I just loved that so much about him. But before he had a heart attack and passed away, I messaged Todd and told him, oh my God, I think Bernie's going to have a heart attack and pass. And sure enough, I don't know, Todd, what do you think it was? Like 3 weeks to a month, and it happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was about that.
Yeah, it was. And then when that happened, it was one of those things where I'm like, see, this is what I was always scared of. When I was younger, I just didn't realize it because as we're adults, we are and it is so true. That's why I'm always saying lemon water for detoxing during the moon cycles, fruits and vegetables in your diet. Because we eat so many fatty, greasy foods, and people really don't realize what that does to your body.
Very true.
Right. And then we start putting all these fat, which when we start talking, say, astral traveling, which I'm huge. I talk about this a lot. Because when we're astral traveling and we're eating lots of heavy meats, it's hard on our body. And it's almost like your body, right? Your body floats out and you get all this information, all these things come through, and it's in your dream realm. And as you're starting to wake up, your body just smashes kind of back into your physical meat suit. And that is why your body is so heavy and so weighted down. And people really don't realize that this stuff is really true. And when I started to, and that's why and for the last 2 years, I always say this in my podcast, for the last 2.5 years, it's been face to floor for me, because I haven't had a teacher, right? So
Right.
I made myself a teacher for everybody else who's coming into journey to feel comfortable about these things, to understand that, yes, I wake up and there's people in my room and I see them. Yes, I know what I know because I know it, and I don't give two shits. Son, you can fight with me, you can argue with me, and all I'm going to do is say, good for you, you got it, you don't need my help. And then you're not being truthful to yourself, which
Right.
then you're not going to you're not going to listen to what I'm trying to say when I'm trying to validate that your energy is, because we are going through the biggest mass awakening since I've been in this energy. And it's really beautiful to me, because now I'm getting younger and younger souls that are coming into me. And they're really starting to understand, but they think they're crazy, right? And so therefore, for me, I'm like, well, I'm going to be the first one to tell you you're not crazy, because here, I've been going through this energy face to floor. Yeah, I've been messing up. I've messed up quite a bit in my journey, not doing it right. I fight with spirit. I'm a Taurus, right? I'm an earth sign. I understand. But that's been my biggest thing, is I never wanted to look crazy. And so when I finally just quit fighting and allowed my guides to really come in, I talk to spirit just like I talk to you, to people I'm giving readings to.
Right.
You know, they pop into my energy. It gives me goosebumps. Then I know somebody's breaking my bubble, as I call it.
Yep.
And, I'll get sparks out of the corner of my eye. It's like, how you blow and here's all these little sprinkles of like glitter. That's what happens out of the profile of my site. And so learning that I wasn't crazy. It was just that I was allowing my body to heal from all the medications. I was allowing myself to eat healthy. I started drinking more water, and really started taking care of myself, and started to realize that it is all based on vibrations of where we are in our journey. Just like we've got all the people that I call soul tribe, right? We're all in the same vibration, which means you guys all resonate with what I've got to say, because we are on the same vibration.
Right.
Now we've got the next set, the younger set of collectives that are starting to come in. And, they're anywhere from 17 to 24. And that's beautiful to me, because here now we've already got into the healers, the manifestors, we're all on this vibration where now we can pull these beautiful souls into journey and say, look, you're not crazy. This is what I want you to try. Try eating healthy. Try lemon water to detox your body. Stop eating all these fatty, greasy foods. Start eating fish, tuna, chicken, all these things, because then you're going to open your third eye. You're going to open in your crown chakra. And the way I describe it to people is, it's like when someone crashes, does that when you were a kid. It was like that egg.
Yes.
Yes, that is exactly what it feels like when you're opening up in your crown. Your third eye is always the headaches, and it's always in your T-zone.
Yep.
And so, right? And so then I start to say, well, these are the things that I experienced. These are the things that are going to start happening. And sure enough, when they come back to me after 2 or 3 months, I can totally tell that their vibration is beautiful because they've been doing all these beautiful, healthy things. They've been going on walks. They've been spending more family time together. They've been eating healthy. And so then when they come into me, they're like, oh my God, you were right. And I'm like, oh my God, I totally was.
You know what is so interesting is I remember sitting in my backyard and we were talking about MysticKarma when you first kind of got into it. And I'm like, people need to be taught. We need teachers because so many of us are thrown into it and we go, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to understand. What does this mean? What does that mean? And you immediately said, I'll be the teacher.
Yep.
You said that to me and I went, well, there you go. That's exact. And then the other thing I want to say is to all the young punks coming up through the ranks, get out of my yard. You stay out of my yard, you old people, young people.
Yeah.
It's true, though. I wish I had somebody when I was growing up to help me realize what was really going on. I wish I had somebody to guide me. You know, most of this journey, with the exception of probably, I'd say the last year since Todd and I met, most of my journey has been all by myself. You know, my husband loves me dearly, but he has nothing that he can contribute to this.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. He puts up with a lot. Let me tell you, he puts up with a lot. But yeah, so I wish I had someone who had been able to guide me and help me through it.
Well, me too. And that's why when Todd, I mean, and that was the beautiful thing about working with Todd and Tammy. They both understood. I feel things, right? But see, it's so every one of us feel things differently.
Right.
I feel things where it just gives me such anxiety where I'm always looking around, trying to figure out why I have anxiety, why I was triggered. And they are such beautiful souls that they understood that I was a visual learner. You can tell me till you're blue in the face, and I don't give two shits. If I don't see you doing it and it doesn't make sense to me, I could have an instruction manual. It doesn't make sense to me. All I know is what I'm feeling.
Right.
And so that's why I've got like 70 oracles, 150 sets of tarot cards, because for me, the energy hits me different with different people.
Right.
And sometimes that's why when I do my podcast, that's why I do heart chakra energy, because then it helps me to understand where we are individually in our heart chakras. That's why I also do Earth Warriors, which really gives me that grounding energy, because that grounding energy is what pulls me down to earth.
Right.
I use, all different sets of tarot cards, because if I'm feeling very emotional, I use water tarot. If I'm feeling very grounded, I will use my mystic tarot, right? So it just really gives me different energies to be able to visually see it, because then if I see it at the same time I'm feeling the energy, I get a picture, and it's hard to explain. It's like a picture in my head of, those old reels that you have to wind up and then with the film.
Yep.
That's how it goes through my crown and my third eye, and that's how I see it.
Right.
And so then then it makes sense, because I visually have it, I'm physically feeling it, and there is a picture in my head. And all three of those together, that's why I cycle in threes. All three of these things together help me to understand what it is that they're going through. And that's why I really don't like to know anything about anybody. I would rather they sat there and waited until I finished my whole thing.
Yep.
Before they say to me, oh my God, do you know how accurate you are? And I'm like, oh my God, was I really good or what?
Right.
What?
Now, let me ask you this, Victoria, with everything going on in the past year with COVID and the pandemic, and I felt some immense shifts over the past year, just all over the place. Are your readings different now because of everything going on? Do you read differently? Do you get different readings than you might normally get?
Yes, I do. Okay. So in order to understand why we're going through this mass awakening, it is because of the COVID, right? Because it's really forced us all to pull our energy back and really stay away from all, and has forced us to spend more family time together, work at home, do all these things, which is why I also offer video reads for those energies where they don't want to come out yet. And even if they're wearing a mask, they still don't feel comfortable. Hey, I'm good with that, man. I will talk to you just like I'm doing this live cast, right?
Right.
So, people that come into me are more prone to feel crazy at this point, lonely, right? Yeah. Lonely is huge. That's the biggest emotion that I've been dealing with, even for myself, because I am such a hugger. I am such a, let's hug this shit out. I want to give you love, right? I want to hug it out. I want that love too, right? Because when you're hugging somebody, it is the most beautiful experience where you can actually allow them to be free, to be who they are. And most of the time when I hug people, they cry. And so for me, I miss that, because that's that social interaction that we just take for granted, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden we're in COVID, and now everybody is in this emotional lockdown of heart chakra, which I understand, because I'm the same way. And so I've had to even adjust my energy, but that's why I'm always pulling different cards, because there's days where I wake up and my cards don't do it for me, right? Because I'm in a totally different vibration, because now I've stayed out of all this energy and I've been eating healthy and, all these things, and my cards don't talk to me. And so now I'm kind of going through that energy myself of, man, nothing is filling the void. Why can't I find something that fills the void? So then we got to look beyond. There's times where I don't even need the cards, because shit just happens, and I can just read people's energy. I see their aura. I understand what they're going through even before we'll do a video chat or they come into awakenings to see me. I already know the kind of energies, because I'm already feeling it before they get there, because I always say, Spirit, send me who needs the most healing that I can heal and help somebody move forward in journey, because I'm tired of the people who want to come in, who are looking for validation, but they want to argue with me. And I'm like, okay, see, you're not ready, and I can't do this for you.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yes.
Right? It is so frustrating, because then I'm like, you're not even being honest with yourself. Therefore, no matter what spirit tells me, I can have everything right. I could be sitting right here talking to their ancestor and get everything on point, and I know it's on point. And they can look at me and say, well, what does that mean? Or well, no, see, and I'm like, ooh,
Yep.
Nope. Don't come back at me and tell me anything. You take this information, you leave with it. And then in a couple months, when it fucking resonates with you, when you're actually in the right vibration to understand what I'm telling you, then come back and tell me. I had somebody that I worked with over a year ago. And, she's like, no. And I'm like, I'm fine. I know what I know, because I know this, and I don't ever second guess my intuition. If it's not going on now, it is going to go on. So, but then she came back a year after. What a beautiful soul to actually come back and tell me everything that you said to me over a year ago happened in my life. And I wanted to come back and tell you, because I was not in the right place. And so then I looked at her and I was just like, you know what? You're so beautiful. And how thankful I was that even a year ago, I was already in this energy telling her and not second guessing myself and saying, look, I see it in the cards. I feel it. I know it. And I don't know what to tell you besides this is what's happening.
Right.
And then to come back a year later and validate everything that I said was spot on from A to finish was really beautiful actually for me, because I'm also looking for that validation too.
Yes.
Because I'm self-taught.
Yep.
All I know is what I know, what I hear, what I see, and what I feel. And I don't ever want to second guess myself, because if I'm second guessing myself, I'm fighting with spirit, because I'm fighting to get to the truth.
Right.
And so
that's one thing that I'm learning how to do, is not second guess myself. And sometimes all we have is that validation, especially when we're going through the journey by ourselves. That's all we have, is that validation. It's so important. It's so important. So
if our viewers and listeners have a question for Victoria, we're not going to do cards quite yet, but if you have a question about her journey, please feel free to throw those in the comments and we'll throw them up. EJ says, I'm an empath and it gets so loud and overwhelming inside my head. Basically, is there a way to put a filter on what you're experiencing? And I know, like, Sandy has that issue sometimes. I have huge walls that I put up, but mine are up like all the time. Is there a filter that people who are empathic can use in order to kind of keep that stuff at bay?
Well, then that's definitely a Nine of Swords kind of energy, where you're in your head. And I call that energy cycling, because then I cycle on it, and I can't. The only thing that I can honestly say helps with being empathic is to be able to get up, light a candle, and put yourself in meditation, because there's a reason why you're cycling on this energy or can't get past it. Either you haven't stepped into the acknowledgement of the truth of what your heart already knows, or you're on your way to this new vibration, this new beginning, this new opening, but you have to be able to see it and be truthful and get ego and heart to work together, that masculine, feminine energy. So I would say it's really hard, even for me being an empath. I'm always channeling, and I can't always get out of my head. And so I have to usually get up and walk the floors, write things down, just to get it out of my head. Because if we're looking at it in black and white, right, that's definitely giving us the vision of, all right, this is why I'm cycling on it. It kind of gets us down to the bottom of where it is. Meditation, that quiet time to really allow yourself to ground and really just free your mind. But writing a lot is very important, especially being an empath, right? So you can ground that energy and really get to the truth of what it is, because then you're fighting within your heart and your head. So there's a lot of fighting going on.
I want to throw this out there. We got to get to some tarot cards here. But I've got a.
Lisa hides in the basement, but at least it has lights now.
Yeah, there you go.
At least it has lights.
EJ says that they do write poetry as well, which is perfect, I think.
Yes.
Tell the story about on 2 occasions you had to come to me with a phone call, or I don't know if you stopped by one time or whatever, but a past family member of mine came to you with messages. Do you remember both those times?
Well, of course I do. You're so cute. So his mom, oh my God, get this, right? So I'm in the shower of all places one day, and his mom came through to me. And it's like the most inconvenient time for a beautiful woman to be standing up in my shower saying, you need to tell Todd this.
Listen, you don't know Geraldine. She's going to say what she's going to say, where she's going to say it.
And she did, because as soon as I got out of the shower, I made that mental note. And I really just kind of talked her through this energy, but I got off and got out of the shower, and then I messaged Todd and said, look, your mom wants you to do this and this and this. And so that was part of one of those energies where he's like, Jesus, what the hell? And the second time, his mom came through, she showed me like a image of Todd as a child on it was on this floor, but to me it was like a rug, or he had a blanket with him, kind of with him, in front of this old TV set. It had the legs. Like, I described it all like to him, and I was like, "Here, Todd, this is what your mom came through, and this is the validation." And he sent me a picture, and he's like, "Shut up! I just got this picture." And it was exactly the way I seen it.
Wow.
Exactly the way she showed it to me. The only thing I didn't mention was the blanket. And then when he showed me the picture, there sure as shit was the blanket. And
wow.
I was like, oh, that's the only thing I didn't say to you was that blanket. But Todd, she wanted him to know that she is very proud of who he is. And
I'm sure she is.
Yes.
Aw, I'm gonna cry now.
Yeah, I really, it was really a beautiful energy. She wanted me to tell Todd she knew who he was, and that he shouldn't have to really work as hard as he does to feel all these feelings, because she's known that he's been special since he was little, and that's why I got that picture and then described it to him. And then it was one of those things where he sent me the picture. He's like, "My sister just sent this to me," and it really made me cry, because then I was like, oh my God, see, I'm listening to my intuition. This woman is so powerful, so beautiful, and so strong, that her energy hit me so hard to know, especially to give such a validating, beautiful message to her son, to allow his creative energies to flow and stop allowing people to shit on him. Because he needs to be this, I mean, he's an air sign. You're both air signs, right? So you're both very much a bearer of truth, and that's who you need to be in this lifetime.
Oh, the phone's ringing.
The phone's ringing. I got to take the phone call.
Oh, boy.
Hello?
I'm crying.
Yep. Oh, thank you. Yep. All right. Yep, bye.
Who was that, Todd?
That was my mom. She just said that people have to stop shitting on me.
I thought he was going to say it was God.
I know.
No. That's for later.
That's for later. Wait, well, there's plenty of time.
I want to get to tarot, but I want to show these two. I've got two pictures I want to show, and I was going to show them before we brought Victoria up. But Victoria, I think you'll appreciate these. So one of the guests that we have on our show a lot is my friend Lisa Hale. And we've talked about the fact that Lisa is a list maker. She makes lists of her lists. Okay. And so today I said, "Are you going to be tuned in tonight?" And so she sent me this today. It was a list of her day, which had the Sandy and Toddcast at 7 p.m. on it.
Yay! I love it.
So she
we made the list. We did make the list.
And then Sandy and I are trying to get some guest spots on some other podcasts so that we can kind of promote what we're doing and all that kind of stuff. So Sandy created this really great post for Twitter. And just basically said, here we are, we do a podcast. We talk about ghosts. We do paranormal investigations. She's Claire Huxtable, whatever. I've got the beard, whatever. And so she put it out there. And so I saw it on my Twitter. And so I retweeted it, but I added a message to it, which was just so smart. So smart. So this is what I posted. I posted, one's hot, the other one's a hot mess.
So what did I say to you when I came in today?
Why am I a hot mess?
What? You got to make me the hot mess?
Yeah.
He goes, "How do you know it's you?" I said, "Because you're hot."
and of course, me, being as humble as I am, didn't say a damn thing back. I just took it all in.
Not at all.
Whatever. So, hey, how about if we pull a couple of tarot cards for our viewers, listeners? If you'd like to have Victoria pull a tarot card, or if you have a specific question, is that okay with you, Victoria, if it's kind of specific?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
just put it up in the messages there. We'll get to him. She's going to shuffle her deck of cards and see what she gets on this.
Woo, somebody's ready for celebration. Let's celebrate.
Tarot question for Victoria. My husband passed away 2 years ago. Will universe gift me with a new love again anytime soon?
Oh, that's crazy. We just had the 3 of Cups fall out, and I just said somebody's ready for a celebration.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So isn't that the way it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
6 of Swords. Yes. Moving to safer, calmer waters. Really allowing yourself to step into that heart chakra energy. Remember, love is the only vibe that we fuck with, right? Because if there's no love, there's no vibe. And so in order for you to clear out these energies, you got to make sure that you are moving in to the direction of what it is that you want to be able to manifest and come into your life. So again, the key to manifesting, my beautiful soul, is making sure that when you're moving into the 6 of Swords direction, that you are, it's already yours, so to speak, right? You have to know that you already own that. You need to write it down, and that's exactly what you need to do. Write down what it is that you want in a partner, so the universe can then start reading your vibrations. This is what she wants. This is how she's going to get it. And then that's how the universe moves the energies in divine timing. Also underneath the strength with the 6 of Swords. So have strength, have patience in moving in this energy. But yes, you will be able to find what it is that you want. You just need to be bold with your request to the universe when you're manifesting.
All right. Could you pull a card for Sarah tonight?
Sarah missed last week, and so I know she was in here. She's definitely in here.
Well, let's ask God. Sarah, are you in here? Answer me.
Yes. So Sarah, whatever the question is, the answer is yes. I keep hearing yes, 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 but you also got the 6 of Swords energy, which again, this just came out. You guys watched me shuffle on camera, and this is the card that I picked when you asked for a card. So again, with the 6 of Swords energy, it's working through the turbulent emotions and getting to the other side, safer, calmer seas, but the answer is yes.
Very good.
Yeah, with the 9 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. So the answer is yes, emotional fulfillment. You are moving to safer, calmer waters. You will be able to get out of this energy.
Good.
It feels really, it feels like dark night of the soul kind of energy. So again, have strength in moving through that kind of energy, because it does suck and it is hard. But as long as you keep making the forward movement, yes is the answer.
We're going to do some more tarot here. I want for folks who want to check out your podcast. Again, it's usually a Monday through Friday podcast. It runs about 30 or 40 minutes, and it's called Daily Vibes. For folks that, are interested in it, when they check it out, they can find it on Anchor. You can find it on Spotify as well. If people check it out, what are they going to hear? What is it like?
Well, when I work, the way I work is I work with water, earth, fire, and air, because we all individually, as a collective energy, have a specific job to do. So it's very much, I talk about where our energy is for that day, what we're going to go through that day. And so it'll start with the water signs are first, earth signs are second, fire signs are third, air signs are fourth, because that's the way spirit tells me we have to be in heart chakra. That's water. We have to ground out the energy. That's earth signs. I'm Taurus. I'm an earth sign. So water comes in and nurtures me, because I don't do emotions. I don't like to sit in my emotions. Fire is very much the creative energies of all of us as a whole, right? Fire is really trying to pull us into that creative energy. And then we have air. Air is very much the swords energy, which is all about our truth, right? So if we're nurturing and grounding, planting, seeding, watering, growing, building, right? If we're all pulling our part and doing and going through this energy of dark night of the soul to come out on the other side so we can build and plant and go through this energy as a collective, as a one, and then we're all putting ourselves in heart chakra energy. And only the people that are going to resonate in our vibes are going to understand how it works, right? And so that's exactly what I do, is I make sure that I've got everybody's energy as a whole, and then it's used as that collective gathering of heart chakra energy so we can get our emotions right, because we all kinds of a hot mess, and I'm all good with
Well,
that.
I thought you were gonna say that air signs came last because you saved the best for last, but I won't go there.
That's right.
Well, you know, but technically that is because the reason why is fire and air very much are on the same vibrations right now. Fire goes through the energy first, because if they have to burn down the earth, right? If they got to come in and burn down shit, why is that happening? Well, it's because we need to replant, right? That's what fire does. Air moves fire. So for me, air is the truth of why we're getting the earth burnt down, or why
we are the truth forever.
Amen.
EJ's next question for you on tarot is, I'm curious about my spirit guide.
Well, what are you curious about? What are you
Victoria, does everybody have a spirit guide? Does everyone have one?
Yes. Actually, yes, we do. And if you are putting yourself in meditation and you are asking questions, that is why it's the biggest thing for me, is making sure that you are putting yourself in meditation, because you can ask spirit, just like I talk to you guys. This is how I talk to spirit. I want to know this, or I'm asking about this, or I'm asking about this. It always comes through in my dream realm. Always. If I'm talking and I'm telling spirit, this is what I want to know, I'm having trouble with this, right? There's also meditations that you can do on Beautiful Soul that's right on the YouTube, and it's guided meditations on how to find your spirit guide and who it is. Most of the time, our spirit guides are an ancestor.
Interesting. Yeah. Very,
very interesting. Another question as far as tarot is concerned. Let's see. Let's find one here. I'm on a weight loss journey and I'm struggling. I've tried for years and failed. Will I ever be successful? That's from Renee.
Well, Renee, just like spiritual journey, diets don't work for everybody. You need to be able to, this again comes with part of your spiritual journey, right? Lemon water to detox, fruit and vegetables in your diet, eat white foods, fish, chicken, none of that heavy, greasy stuff. Most empaths end up turning into be vegetarian energies because they don't eat the meats, right? Because meat eventually starts making us sick. I don't do a lot of like hamburgers and stuff like that like I used to. I have to be in the right mood to eat that kind of stuff now, because it really does bother my soul that we kill these animals and we fucking eat it. So
I laugh because that's me. I hardly ever eat meat. I really do have to be in the right. I am essentially a vegetarian in, for the most part. I rarely eat meat.
What about potato olays, though? They're so good.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
Delicious. I still love potato olays.
All right, let's see what else we got here. This is from someone who says, "Hey, Victoria, can you check out U.S. man's intentions for me and feelings?" Looks like maybe somebody from another country who might have a relationship with a gentleman from the U.S.
Oh, well, what is it that they want to check out? Is
I'm guessing if the intentions of that person are true,
Well, I should have said the card that fell before when I picked it up and looked at it and then put it back in. but I will just say that it was the Four of Wands, which is the 1111, which is happy home, happy hearth, happy abundance. So I'm assuming that, and most soul journeys are always with somebody who is across the world or in different states. It's like the craziest thing I've noticed. Most of the people that start coming together in these relationships, those love at first sight things where I didn't feel like that even existed until I started digging into twin flames and soul journey and really started to spend time understanding what it was so I could help these people that are getting into this energy, because they can explain it. And I was like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Like I didn't believe in that shit, but I do now. I believe in freaking everything. I don't think there's anything on the planet that could blow me out of the water. So I would say that, yes, you have the Chariot, which is movement. So this could be you or him or whoever coming together to see each other, because there is movement, there is balance, there is guidance. You also have death and transformation, which means something is going on in this relationship. There's movement and transformation, and it's also the King of Swords energy. This person is truthful and in justice and only wants the facts, the things that are going to be truthful and justful with making movement and transformation. So that's what I would say to you for your soul's journey.
Victoria, you mentioned twin flames, and is there a difference between a soulmate and a twin flame?
Yes. 100%.
What?
Yes, there are. Now, next question, please.
What?
That's exactly what I was like. Next. Oh,
I know a lot of people are very confused. I did some reading on it, so I know the answer, but I know people get confused about that.
Well, there is. See, this is the way I've learned that because I'm also an ordained minister.
Me too.
Really? I love it. Oh my God. So my goal, the reason why I became an ordained minister is because of these twin flame couples that I kept getting, right? I didn't know anything about twin flames. It just kind of popped into my lap as I was going through this awakening. So then I started to make it my journey to really help twin flames and soul tribe really understand the difference between.
Right.
Now, we can have many different soulmates in this lifetime, many of them, right? And they would be just as comfortable and you could probably live a happy, fruitful life, right?
Right.
Now, the twin flame journeys, the way I'm understanding it, the way it really happens to be, it's always hit or miss. Now, twin flame journeys, the way it has been going with the couples that I've got, and I've got about 22 couples that I've really been working with on a one-on-one basis, that either I've married or we've gotten together, or we just talk about how their journey is going. The twin flame journey is really effing hard, really hard, because they seem to, your counterpart, your masculine or your feminine energy seems to come in when you're at your lowest vibe and then build you back up. And then they go, right? They don't stay very, very long.
Right.
And then they'll come back in and lift you up so you can do the work, right? That's why I'm very adamant that you have to be able to do the work in order to get masculine, feminine energies together, to be able to work together in heart chakra. Because if one of you, even whichever counterpart it is, if you're not in heart chakra energy and you cannot admit that you understand the connection and what this connection is for, Spirit keeps you in separation. There is no coming together until you are freaking ready to own up to whatever it is that you guys are doing.
Right.
So that's why it's always hit or miss, right? Because some twins, also the research that I've been doing and couples that I've been working with, some couples don't even get together in this lifetime in the 3D realm. because there's still karmic cycles that need to be cut and learned and pushed out before you can be open enough to truly validate in heart chakra energy the love that goes between the infinity of a twin flame couple. But if you can work out that energy, it's a lifelong commitment. You are just as you can be just as healthy in a marriage as or in a relationship even to be able as a soul energy, right, as a soul connection that you would have, because we have so many soul tribe connections in this lifetime,
right?
And twin flame journeys, people tend to give up on those more because they are freaking harder than finding your soulmate, right?
Right.
You can find a soulmate, but then are you settling? Right? Are you settling for something because it was too hard and you're giving up on journey and the love isn't there anymore? Or is it that you're both moving in two different directions, that it's not going to work in this lifetime? Well, then that's something that the twin flame couples have to make sure that they understand between each other. If they're not getting together in this lifetime, so be it. But then you both have to be honest and truthful and still come together as a soul collective when the work needs to be done.
Right. Gotcha.
Here's my response. Just put up your walls. No relationships for everybody. Lorraine says,
So typical.
Lorraine says she had a horrible dream the other night that she thinks is from her past. Was it real? And if so, how can she heal it?
Very good question.
Yes, it is a very good question. Yes, it is real. That's the thing that we have to understand is our dreams when we're in our REM sleep. There's meanings to dreams always, always, always. And so how you heal it is by looking at it, right? Feeling it, which you did. Release it. Release the energy. Just say, I see it. I feel it. I'm releasing this energy and I'm healing my heart, because that's how you have to do it, is you have to look in there and you have to release all this energy unconditionally in the right proper vibration, whether it's forgiving yourself or forgiving the other party, but it needs to be able to be released. So that way you feel good in your heart because you've looked at it, you know it's truth. It's either your truth or their truth. And then release that energy in forgiveness. Send it away with peace, love, and light, for real.
All right, let's do one more tarot question, and then we're going to kind of wrap up the live cast tonight. Bradley says, question for Victoria. Life's been a mess. What do I need to know right now?
Patience, Bradley. Hi, Bradley. I love you, boo-boo.
Hey, wait a minute. That's my nickname.
It is your nickname, but it's everybody's
Stay
nickname.
out of my yard.
Oh, I thought it was Boo Boo.
No, it's
everybody. Everybody is my boo boo, for real.
Boo-boo.
I see how it is.
Well, because I know this person personally, life has been a mess, but you got to remember that we are coming out of that dark night of the soul energy and trying to step into heart chakra. We need to be able to release everything. And Brad, your patience is what you need to learn. You have to be able to listen to your guides, because we have been trying to guide you forward for over a year, my darling. And us earth signs, we don't have patience. I understand that. But because you are very much a Virgo energy, it's all about self-care. You've got to give back to yourself what you're so freely willing to give to other people, which gives you the Ace of Pentacles. So boom, that's what you need to know right now.
Isn't that what you say? Is that when you show the card and you go, bam, like that?
Yeah. Bam.
Bam. Yeah. Like, who was that? Not Mr. Clean, but that Shazam, that guy.
That's right. Shazam.
So another interesting thing about Victoria and I, her big saying is what kind of thing. And so a few years ago, after my mom passed away, I had a vehicle that I needed to get rid of, and she needed to buy one. So we worked out a deal, and she got a vehicle, and she got her license plate. And there's 3 letters or 3 numbers. I don't know what it is, but the last 3 letters
336.
are WUT. What?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Right?
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, it's been and I love my Kia, by the way. It's
Who doesn't love a Kia? Come on.
That's right.
I know, right? I haven't had really any massive energies that I've had to like totally lose my shit over. But I mean it's a great vehicle. So, and I know that you took care of it. So and then you told me that you turned around and bought another one.
Yep, I gave Lisa bought my mom's car from me, and I went out and got my own Kia back. Or not the same. In fact, my old Kia is much better than my current Kia, but that's okay. I really want to thank you for being here. What I find interesting is you were nervous before this.
Yes.
And you were feeling all the energies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you were having all those internet problems at the beginning.
Yes.
And when you calmed down and realized that this is a safe place for you to be, everything's been fine since.
Yeah. We haven't had one issue. Not one issue. Yep.
That's awesome. And that's exactly too what, when I was talking before this, I had a very beautiful masculine walks of thunder energy. And I mean, and that's probably makes sense why we were going through this very much where the internet was cutting off. Every time I was wanting to say something important, it was like, no, don't talk about it right now. This isn't the time. But that reminded me, I had a Gertrude in here with me.
That's right.
Very, very beautiful elderly woman, red hair, in a I guess you want to call it like a smock, tissue in her pocket, but she said she's fine. So, and that's what I was trying to tell Todd in the beginning. It was like, I'm like, oh my God, all these people are in my room and I don't know where they go. And so that was very bothersome to me, that all these people were in here before this even started. And I was, my hands were like ice. Remember, I was telling Sandy and Todd, I'm like, man, I feel like I've been standing in a freezer.
Yes.
And this is what happens to me. And that could be exactly why that energy was just blocking, was because I had so much going on even in here. But this walks of thunder energy is a native, he's a native guy, but he was showing me him in a teepee with smoking peyote, he calls it. Hey, peyote. And there was a gathering, right? And he was telling me he was here for the great gathering. So I don't know who Walks Up Thunder is, but he's got a white headpiece, flowy, very decorated white horse, with gray spots, just in the ass end of the horse. But he's very decorated, very, very important. And he was the massive energy that was really kind of taking over my energy and why I was so cold. But he said he was here for the great gathering. So I'm assuming that that is also with us stepping into this awakening, this great gathering. Well, oh shit. In today's podcast, I also talked about my Cherokee heritage.
That's right.
Oh. Yeah.
The native energies that I find that I resonate more with the native spiritual aspects of community, giving to my community in order to receive back, so we are all taken care of. Because again, there is no I in team, and it's about sending everybody out. But anyway, Walks of Thunder was here with me, and he was here for the great gathering. Gertrude, she was here, very beautiful woman, but she said she is okay. So whoever was asking me before this came, I don't know, she's here, but she is fine. So just know that she is okay. So the way that you remember her at the end of her life, she doesn't want you to remember that part of that energy, because that's not who she is now.
Good.
So yes, thank you, Todd, for that, because now because I wrote that down because that was so important. But yes, and my hands are warm now as we've been doing this.
See?
Yeah.
And trust me, this was the great gathering tonight, because we had a lot of people live on with us, a lot of questions, a lot of interactions. So it was very good.
A lot of fun.
Victoria, always really a pleasure to do stuff with you. And
we definitely love to have you back. If you'd like to come back, we'd love to have you.
I would love to. That is such a big energy for me to be able to come out and have this beautiful platform. Again, because, you know, we didn't have this energy to understand who we are. And so for me, this platform helps me to really get everybody gathered and just to start saying, look, do the work. You are not crazy. You are who you are. You are an empath. There's intuitives, there's mystics, there's all these beautiful energies that we are supposed to be stepping into. And I call them my beautiful witchy vibes.
Witchy vibes. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll throw this out there. We all went to school. We learned how to read, write, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We have to learn this too. That there's a lot of self-learning that has a lot of reading and understanding and questions asked and all that. Don't be afraid to ask those questions. You could reach out to Victoria on Facebook, search for MysticKarma Oils, all one word, and you can find her podcast on Anchor and Spotify and other locations as well.
Imagine what a full reading from Victoria, how much that would teach you. And I may come to you for a full reading, Victoria. You really enlightened a lot of us tonight, I think. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna put you in the green room for a little bit so Sandy and I can wrap this up, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you, Victoria. Victoria, MysticKarma by Victoria.
Oh my gosh, I love her. I love her.
We do these, and then afterward, I'm completely drained, and I don't know why, because I don't do anything.
No, but you know why? Because you know what, though? As empaths, especially as healer empaths, we're absorbing the energy. We're absorbing energy as well. I thought about that because last Tuesday night when we were done, I won't say we were hot messes, but we were hot messes.
We were hot messes.
We were. And we're absorbing the energy as well. And EJ had a great, before we wrap this up and let everybody go, EJ's question was fantastic. And one of the things that I would suggest to anyone who believes that truly they are an empath, I learned this not that long ago and I'm working on it, is first and foremost, discern, try to learn the difference between your own personal energy and your own personal feelings and what you're absorbing around you. And it helps you start to differentiate, and it makes it easier for you to learn how to block unwanted energy when you don't want it. You may not want to block it all the time. I don't. I'm fine with bringing energy in, but it has to be on my terms, and you have to learn how to do that.
And I'm just Mr. Walls. You just stay out of my space.
You're just Walls.
Stay away.
You're just Walls. You're cute little Walls.
Do you know what she did? Your blanking daughter.
Oh my gosh. It's another prop. The Sandy and Todd
is going to be filled with props.
I love it. I love you.
Thursday coming up on Thursday.
Oh my God. What a night it's going to be. Lisa Hale. We've got your cousin Tammy.
Yep.
And she's going to talk to us about paranormal experiences that she has had.
Absolutely.
And by the way, she says they're even better after you've been drinking.
I'm just saying, aren't they usually?
Saying.
Yeah.
And then, of course. And then non-bartender Bill will be back this time with his laptop instead of his phone. Hopefully he will hear us this time. And he clued me into the drink that he's going to make, but he's going to make a whole different bunch of different options using these ingredients.
Okay. Sounds good.
So
that'll be coming up on Thursday, and Sunday. The new season of the Sandy and Toddcast comes out on audio. So
excited, and we might have a special guest. I'm not sure if I can swing it yet, but we might have a special guest.
What the fuck? I don't even know about this.
Well, I was going to talk to you about it.
Is my name in the podcast at all?
I was going to talk to you about it afterwards.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks, guys. Next Tuesday night, Tarot Tuesday. Make sure you're here.
Should be a lot of fun. Good night,
That's
everybody.
right.
Bye-bye.
Good night.